guest. We can only eliminate one.
Now I'm regretting jamón ibérico.
Almost as if I planned it that way. Hello there. How are you doing? Welcome back to the Hispanophiles podcast. Travel in Spain
with half a brain.
This is the only podcast that could not escape the love of Enrique Iglesias. My name is James Bruffery. Welcome back to the podcast. It's Angelique, fan favourite and the only South Londoner I've ever trust. How are you?
I'm great, thank you, James. And you're also the only Northerner I would ever trust. So
we are yin and yang of the British Isles, you know.
Goes both ways. We're the polar opposites today.
We are, indeed. Welcome to the Hispanoverse, aka my house. Your first time here?
Yes, I love it. I think it's a very nice open plan, a lot of natural light. That's what you need in the summer. And good air conditioning. So.
Are you moonlighting as an estate agent? Is that what you're doing?
Well, unless you want to leave, then.
I don't technically own it yet. My own little corner of Western Barcelona, my little barrio full of Latin Americans. I do like it around here. Everyone around here, Colombian, Ecuadorian, Venezuelan, Peruvian, you know, a lot of bachata, a lot of ceviche. You know.
Yeah, well, you love that.
So much ass around here, it's ridiculous.
I like booty.
You know?
Especially in this house.
I've been getting my squat on, but I don't quite have the genetics, you know what I'm saying? So
no, I live on the 4th floor now, so I've been getting my steps in every day, which is fun.
Right. Particularly in this heat, in this weather.
Yeah.
How are you coping?
Just about. I think every time we get to the 4th floor, it's just glugging down water. At least saved a bit on the gym membership.
Nice. That money you're saving in gym membership, you can use in the chiringuito later on to cool down Friday evening.
Exactly, and have a beer, and the cycle starts again.
We know how to party. So, I've kept you in the dark in this episode, haven't I?
You have? I have no idea what's going on.
Right. The reason being, of all the co-hosts, you are quite clearly the one with the best taste. Okay?
Oh, thank you.
Silvano won't go anywhere that doesn't have alcohol and football. Jessica won't go anywhere that isn't pink and sparkly.
Fair.
And Alex, quite frankly, we've seen what he dresses, so like he's not the one to trust with this, you know. Like,
okay.
His shirts, like Oxfam, they would refuse them. So therefore, you were the obvious candidate for the episode of One Has to Go, One Has to Go.
Oh,
and the jingle.
I love it.
Yes,
okay.
Yes,
I'm
we
ready.
have various categories, various rounds, each with 4 options inside them, A, B, C, and D, and all of which pertain to Spain in some way. You have the sole responsibility, the sole privilege, let's put it that way, of working out if one has to be eliminated forever for the benefit of humankind or for the benefit of giddykind, which one do we get rid of? That's the game today.
Perfect.
Makes sense?
Yes.
Have you played this game before?
No, I've done which one do we have to keep, but not which one do we have to get rid of.
Ooh. First,
Okay.
then, we've got to jump into our regular segments.
Yes. Which one is up first? Actually, let's do the news story first because it links with my vocabulary.
By all means.
I just realised. Okay, so my news story is... Did you know that the importation of olive oil from Morocco has surged 100-fold? That is to say, almost 10,000 times more than last year, from 103 tons to 10.3 thousand tons.
Into Spain?
Into Spain.
What on earth?
I know. Interesting. Yes. And so Spain last year was spending around 350,000 on olive oil from Morocco. And now that's gone up to 32 million. So first of all, there was a lot of drought in Morocco last year and season. So they weren't able to produce as many olives. But now the number of olives they've been able to produce, the amount of tons, has gone from 100,000 tons to 200,000. And so therefore they have more produce to sell. And secondly, because the prices are lower, because there's this preferential trade agreement between Morocco and the EU.
Ah, okay.
And so, yeah, who knew that Spain, who obviously are well known for their olive oil, a big part of it is actually, I mean, we knew some of it would be imported, but so much of it's coming from Morocco. And yet, Morocco is still not the biggest supplier. I wonder whether you could guess who may be...
To Spain?
Yeah.
It must be Italy.
No,
it can only be Italy.
It's up there on the list, but it's not. It's actually Tunisia.
Tunisia?
Yes.
Oh, just down the road, okay.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was quite interesting to me. I was quite surprised. I mean, maybe I was a bit ignorant. I didn't really think about the fact that, obviously, Spain is importing oil from somewhere as well as exporting it. But yeah.
My understanding is that Spain, with regards to quantity, is the biggest net exporter of olive oil anywhere in the world. Again, having lived in rural Andalusia, it was a big part of one of the main employers was the olive oil manufacturing industry.
Exactly.
But how can they be having so harder droughts that compromise the olive production industry, and Spain did not? Because they essentially have very similar weather patterns, do they not?
Yeah, Spain also had some droughts, in the last couple of years. There was, some months where, we really were struggling. But, it seems that they've picked up incredibly. But it was just such a big jump, I think. Next time you'll be having your oil.
Morocco. I always go high in oil if I can find it, because I'm a snob like that. But fantastic.
Yes.
Interesting. Fascinating. And you said, we'll move on to the second segment, was related, was it not?
Yes. Because I was having a think, I thought, okay, something oil related, there's got to be some sort of phrases out there. And my phrase is, I wonder if you know it, como una balsa de aceite.
Como una balsa de aceite. Mm-hmm. Balsa.
Yes.
B-A-L-S-A.
Yes.
No.
So balsa, in a different context, just balsa as a word, can mean like raft, sort of like a floatable raft type thing. However, in this context, it doesn't. So, como una balsa de aceite is a little bit like saying like a pool of oil or a puddle of oil.
In water?
Not necessarily in water. Just, so if you imagine pouring oil on a surface, it's not kind of messy and splashy like water, but it's more like a smooth, it's kind of like a smooth sort of circle, shiny kind of vibe. And so what that means is it's kind of like a perfect, peaceful situation. So whereas you may have like a chaotic, spilt milk or something like that, this is sort of as smooth as ice, basically. Okay. So you could use it in that type of context, like, oh, yesterday there was a lot of chaos, pero hoy es como una balsa de aceite.
Como una balsa de aceite.
Yeah, it was new to me as well. But
very good.
Yeah.
Where did you read that? Where did you find that?
I just found that on an article with 10 oil phrases. Spanish
classic
oil phrases.
BuzzFeed content right
it
there.
Was actually. I used to write those type of things in my ghostwriting days. But yeah, so I didn't know the one myself. That's
very good. Okay. I promise I will use it in the next 7 days if you do the same thing.
Deal.
Right. Pinky promise?
Pinky
Bingo.
promise.
You can't hear that, listeners, but we pinky promised the of that agreement. So thank you very much for those amazing segments, Angelique.
Thank you.
Outstanding. And let's move on to our main talking point of the episode. Do you remember the jingle? Because you're a very good singer, better than me. One has to go, one has to go.
There we go.
So to refresh the rules, we will be having different rounds, different categories with 4 options inside them. Each one will be an item that is related to Spain somehow. Some of them pleasurable, some of them iconic, some of them historic, some of them gross, disgusting and vile. And it is your job, your responsibility to defend the honour, the prestige of this fair nation and its people and select the one that we must eliminate forever. A couple of caveats.
Yes.
I said you have the sole responsibility, but we've got 3 joker cards to play.
Okay.
So we have, number 1, the James overrule.
Okay.
So if I think you've made the wrong decision here, I can jump in and I can say, no, I'm overriding that, and we're going to go with this option instead.
Fair.
We have the double delete. If you think that 2 of these should be eliminated forever...
Ooh, controversial.
Yes, and they've got some controversial ones coming up, so I don't want to spend this too quickly. You have the power to say, I want to get rid of both of these for good from the face of this earth. The last one was the Uno swap. If you think there is a 5th entry in this category that I didn't put down, you can say, that's the one I would like to get rid of, not the other 4.
And save all of those 4.
Yes, exactly.
But you have to justify what else should be
gotten rid of. And that's what our listeners are here for. You've got to justify that.
I'm ready. Okay. It's a lot of responsibility.
So
but
the 3 wildcards, the James overrule, the double delete, and the Uno swap, bringing in a winner that you would get rid of. Are you ready to play?
I am.
What's
one has got to go, one's got to go.
Yes.
Something like that.
Round 1, we are beginning with trashy holiday resorts. The type of places our aunts and uncles went embarrassing themselves, flashing at 17-year-old waiters back in the 70s. Different times, you know what I'm saying? We've got to live with it. It is what it is. So definitely not me. That's not what I do when I go on vacation.
Absolutely
trashy
not. We are
holiday
neither
resorts.
of those Brits.
Thankfully, we're classy people. We go to museums and
flash people there.
Yeah, precisely so. But quietly. That's the main thing. We start with Benidorm,
Mm.
Marbella, Magaluf, and Ibiza.
Okay.
First question, have you been to any of those?
I have been to 50% of those. I have been to Benidorm last year, just for a day trip. I was staying nearby. And I must say, the beach was lovely. There was a lot of little lanes and shopping areas. It wasn't quite as I expected. Yeah. It wasn't as a sort of a shocking sight. However, the actual beachfront was a lot of kind of like, British bars and that sort of thing.
Is everyone having a good time tonight? I'll get you a free shot.
Exactly.
Tell them Gazzy sent you.
I did get a free shot of limoncello, so I can't complain too much. But, so I was actually, I think my expectations were low, and it didn't stoop that low. So, yes. Marbella and Magaluf I have not been to. I've only heard about. So I can give my opinion on Ibiza, on the other hand, because I have been there many times, as my dad, who you met the other day, actually lived there for 12 years. So I used to go there often to visit him. And I would have to say, for two reasons. Firstly, because I've been there more, and also been there with someone older who is still a party guy, a DJ, but takes me to a lot of the sort of parties of older people, a lot of kind of like expats, but a little bit more like hippie, a lot of like rich vibes, but like, kind of like your hippie grandparents that sort of live in this beach town and whatever. It's not really like, I haven't really been in the scene of the young party vibe. So that's my different experience. However, I do think that nowadays, because it is so expensive, I think it has less of that sort of party vibe, because I just think there's cheaper places for people to go now. So that's my main opinion. I think Marbella, even though I haven't been there, I had a colleague I used to work with who lived there, and she had great things to say about it.
Okay.
And I have wanted to go to Malaga. And so for some reason it gives me good vibes. And Magaluf...
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm afraid I've got nothing positive to say. I've got nothing negative either, but it would have to be that.
Okay. I think you've hit the nail on the head. Obviously, you were both British, if that wasn't obvious to anybody listening. You'll know when you finish sixth form, it's our culture to go to a Mediterranean country with your pals and make an arse of yourself. The boys of our friendship group, we came to Barcelona. We went to Sagrada Familia and got all cultured and whatnot.
Yeah.
The ladies went to Magaluf.
Okay.
And to this day, I still don't know the stories of what got on. I don't want to.
What happened in Magaluf stays in Magaluf.
Exactly, and I really hope it does stay in Magaluf. So, I've got a cool fact about Benidorm.
Okay. Yes.
It's the city in Spain with more skyscrapers than any other.
Interesting. Yes, that surprised me, because when we were driving in from the sort of motorway, I thought, what is this huge ass city? It looked really big. I was not expecting that. I'd forgotten about that, but
it's really compact, but just straight into the sky. So.
I can believe it now. I've seen it.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting.
Magaluf,
sorry, Magaluf.
You're gone. Moving on, round 2. We go from the gross to the... Grandiose. Oh, yes. We need to start our own advertising agency, don't we? And we're looking at churches.
Okay.
One has to go from the Sagrada Familia, the Catedral de Santiago, the Mezquita de Córdoba, and the Catedral de Sevilla.
Okay.
What are we thinking?
Again, I have only been to the first and last of these 4. However, I can straight away say that I love the Catedral de Sevilla. I mean, I'm just a Sevilla fan in general. So, I mean, that's got to stay. I think the architecture in general in Sevilla is just so, so beautiful. I think the Sagrada Familia, even though, of course, it's taking so bloody long to finish it, is quite unique. I'd say what makes it different is sort of that kind of Gothic, all the little points going on and all these details. Make it quite different. I haven't been inside, but I know that everyone I know who has said it's also really beautiful. So I would also say...
You've never been inside?
I've never been inside. I know, it's still on my list of things to do. But I need to do it. But yeah, and so then I think it leaves... Maybe I'll have to phone a friend if you have anything to share that might swing me either way with the old Santiago.
I can supply some facts. I can give some information. So the Catedral de Santiago is visible, I think, on the back of the 1 cent euro coin, the Spanish version. It's
Okay.
the one, obviously the end location, the end destination of the Camino de Santiago, which is the reason I chose it.
Yeah.
The Mezquita de Córdoba, UNESCO World Heritage Site, was built, I think, as the mosque under Abdurrahman III in a single year before post-Reconquest in 1240 something or other, I'm not entirely sure. They essentially built St. James's Cathedral in the middle of it. Therefore, you enter and you see the incredible Umayyad architecture. You have the incense and the kind of the really beautiful, typically Moorish curved archways with yellow and red brick stone. Then you go in the middle and it's this huge neoclassic, all white marble cathedral in the middle. There's nothing else like it on planet Earth. It is my favourite place of interest here in Spain.
Wow. Okay.
And obviously UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Catedral de Sevilla, that is where Christopher Columbus is buried.
Yes. I'd forgotten that, but yeah.
It is also the largest Gothic cathedral in the world with regards to kind of cubic capacity inside. In terms of floor plan, it's the biggest.
Yeah, it is huge.
The tallest church in the world, we know which one that is.
Yes.
Sagrada
Familia.
Does that help you at all?
It does. I feel like I want to go to Cordoba already now because that sounds so beautiful and just left an impression on me. No offense to the Cathedral of Santiago. I'm sure it's great. But yeah, I feel like that is something that just sounds very unique. And the fact that they finished it in a year, or at least like the first initial version, efficient. I like it. So I'm gonna save that, and unfortunately I'm gonna have to say goodbye to the Cathedral of Santiago.
Okay. Goodbye, Santiago. We can walk the last mile without you. Moving on, are you feeling hungry?
I am a bit peckish.
All right, well then let's look at tapas, and you need to work out which one we have to get rid of between patatas bravas, calamares fritos, croquetas, and pimientos padrones.
Oh.
So a little vegetarian option at the end for the vegetarian listeners.
Yes, I'm actually used to be vegan, so I have had my fair share of pimientos padrones, and I have to say they're a really nice option when you're looking for something not too heavy. I think they're safe option, good option, solid. I will have to say croquetas, I think it's a great one because also they're very varied. You have a lot of different flavours of croquetas. There's a classic jamón. I'm personally a fan of sort of a more pollo, or sometimes you have like a bacalao. But mushrooms, champiñones. Well, I think they're quite versatile. Then we have the old calamares. See, I'm a seafood girl, so calamares for me, they're in. There's just unique, the shape, the form, everything. Now, here's where I'm going to be controversial. I think patatas bravas are overrated.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes, finally someone has said it.
Wow. Okay. First of all, because they are so hit and miss. Not saying I haven't had good ones. I have had some good ones. But sometimes people will say, oh, they do really good ones here. Yeah, but they're good for you. You know what I mean? Like, we don't all have the same. I personally like a skin on, like a big. Some people like when they're little squares. Sometimes they're undercooked. They're not even crispy.
Yes.
They put the sauce on top and they put it everywhere. It's not even the proper sauce. It basically is just like Thousand Island of ketchup mixed with mayo. No, not for me.
There's a million and one better things you can do with a potato.
Exactly.
I'm pop culture theory right here. I think their prevalence across many Spanish cuisines is purely for the benefit of the uncultured Northern European foreigners who want to feel like they're trying something new for the first time, and it's an easy way to make chips sound a bit exotic.
Exactly.
Right. Sounds like you've made a decision?
Yes.
It's in. There we go. Bravas.
That was the easiest one so far.
You can leave us be for the time being. Okay. You've got to wash that food down, though. I mean, you're looking at all the options here, so stop doing that.
And I can barely read.
Wine.
Aha.
4 different categories of wine. We've got sherry.
Okay, well, I know you have a personal connection with sherry. Yes,
indeed. Vermouth.
Okay.
Related.
Yeah.
Not the same. Cava.
Yeah, classic.
And then a good Rioja Red.
Ooh.
Stable, simple, reliable, dependable.
Okay, so I'm going to have to say, of all reds, I do love a Rioja. It would be my fave. And I used to be a big red wine girly. Actually, only this year I started becoming more of a white wine person. So I have to, save the Rioja already, putting that out there. I think vermouth is also underrated, or at least in Spain it's spoken highly of, but I feel like in England we also have, vermouth and stuff, but I didn't hear about it, didn't know anything about it. And then actually when my aunt and grandma came visiting me last month, showed it to them and they loved it. And I was like, seeing it through fresh eyes again, I was like, yeah, it is great. You even get a free olive.
It's an easy sell, isn't it?
It's
an easy sell, you know?
And it's not too strong. It's not too...
It's a little sweet without being overpowering. It's, you know, quite a complex flavour to it. And yeah. And a good thing, you really can drink it cold, like if it's cold weather, or as something served cold on a hot day. It works. Versatile vermouth.
Versatile vermouth. Love the alliteration. Yeah, and I also love a free olive and a free piece of orange, so that's great. So yeah, vermouth also staying. So then we have sherry and cava. Now, cava is obviously great for celebrations and popping it open. It's like champagne, but not as expensive. Yeah, so I think within context, cava can be really fun, but personally, not the biggest fan. Taste-wise, like it's more like I wouldn't just sit down and have a cava. It's more like, oh, I'm celebrating.
Right.
Whereas sherry,
the context of drinking it.
Exactly, the context. So it could easily be a non-alcoholic wine or some Lambrusco at that point.
Or Red Bull,
if you know what I mean.
Monster.
Exactly. Some tonic water. But yeah, whereas sherry, I have a personal connection with my family where every Christmas we'd make this sherry trifle, and every year we'd get more and more sherry and less trifles, like a soup. But yeah, and so I just think, yeah, sherry has a more distinct taste and flavour that I could enjoy outside of the context. So that's my answer.
We've made a decision. Cava, not at this table. Okay, we've had a good bit to eat, to drink. Now it's time to do some exercise. So we're going to be looking at popular sports here in Spain. Which one do we have to get rid of? We have to start with paddle.
Okay.
Arguably Spain's most popular gift to the sporting world, sporting landscape around the world. Football, obviously we record this in the middle of the the World Cup by FIFA. Boo, FIFA, boo, evil. And Spain might well win it.
Yeah, they're the only ones who haven't had a goal conceded.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Acknowledge. I know you're a big fan of football, so I'm sure you've watched every single game so far. Basketball. Spain's hidden talent, former world champions. I don't know how in a country where everyone's like average 5'7", they're so bloody good at basketball, but they are. And
great at jumping, maybe.
Good at jumping, exactly. Yes, and then they've got a good set of legs on the Spanish. So we've got cycling, the last one. So, padel, football, basketball, cycling. Which one are we getting rid of?
Interesting. Okay, so out of these four, none of them are my sport of choice to play. So I'm going to have to go from a sort of an outside perspective. But I would say to play or to watch football would still be my top there. Cycling, I only do indoor spinning. But I think, especially I used to live in Girona, and cycling was a massive thing there, both for locals and for tourists and competitors and everything. So I saw a lot of that cycling culture. Like there was specific cycling cafes, and I felt like, even though I didn't cycle, I felt as though I did when I lived there. So I think that's also I've seen that culture in action. And then padel, even though I don't play, I know you do sometimes, right?
Oh, socially.
Yes.
Socially.
My partner also plays. Like I know people that really just enjoy it. And I think it's, a little bit different, a little bit unique. But yeah, so I think that's also a bit unique and different for me. Basketball, I'm yet to be convinced, about why it should stay.
But don't forget, you've also got your Uno swap card. You can bring in another sport.
I know.
Which I
was thinking about
here.
it. I was thinking about.
You've got tennis, water sports, the Copa America yachting thing, cow tipping, huge here in Spain. Bullfighting.
Arguably, chess is a sport. Chess. Apparently. No, I'm actually gonna save my Uno swap. I'm sorry. I do understand where you're coming from, and I feel like accessibility wise, and it makes sense. But unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say basketball.
Basketball's gone. Bounce your way right out of here. Okay, we've got through 5 so far in this game of One Has to Go.
One has to go.
Time to move to number 6, and we're going back to Barcelona, of course, the centre of our proverbial universe. A city with so much character and with a lot of diversity in its different neighbourhoods, but not all of them are as amazing as first appears. So now we need to look at which of the 4 following neighbourhoods of Barcelona do we eliminate from our beautiful city. We start with the problem child, El Raval.
El Raval. Mm-hmm.
We go to next door, Gótico. Going north to the hipster of the family, Gracia. And then the oldest child who got the best degree, Eixample. So Raval, Gótico, Gracia, and Eixample.
Yeah, interesting. I'm thinking about it. Okay, so my thinking is Eixample I love, even though it is the perfect teacher's pet. But yeah, I lived in Eixample for many years, and now I sort of live on the outskirts of Eixample and Gótico. And I think it's really, beautiful architecture. You're in the center. There's a lot to do and see. Really, really like the area. I think Gracia is also very unique and beautiful, even though you have to go up a big hill to get there. But my office is based there, and so I'm often there. I love the little plazas, Plaza del Sol, Plaza de Ribeira y Trias, like all these different sort of little outside terraces where you have that real Barcelona vibe, where you've got like the parents sit at the bar and the kids running around. I really like that. Gótico, yes. I also like, again, I kind of live on the outskirts of it. I know people really find the small streets very charming. I personally don't, just because I get lost. And also I feel like it can be a little suffocating, especially in the heat. So I feel like that kind of goes for both Raval and Gótico. However, I really like Raval. I feel like it gets a bad stick, but I think there's a lot of culture, great things to do, great places, event spaces. I don't know, I like Raval.
Fried chicken.
Fried
Most
chicken,
importantly,
of course.
Shout out to our not yet sponsored, but the place where I spent half of my disposable income, Dr. Beer and Mr. Fried. You know what they say about Dr. Beer, right? He's the man to go to for all your ailments. High five!
So I'm not going to say Raval. I think I will use the Uno swap. But Uno swap. I thought you were going to do another little jingle. However, I'm deciding what I would potentially get rid of. Because, there's some barrios that are inside other barrios. Like, is Poble Sec its own thing? Is Barceloneta its own thing?
Poble Sec is separate from Raval.
Okay, but Barceloneta...
Yeah, it's also separate from Gótico, yeah. You've got Poblenou, you've got San Andreu, you've got San Gervasi, Sans, Colblanc.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to also be controversial and say Sans.
Sans, all right. Why do you say it's controversial?
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like Sans, it can be great. Obviously, it's one of the well-known places, huge, travel connection place. The big roundabout and the sort of tower things going on. Obviously, all the proper terminology. There's a beautiful park in Sans where I do have great memories. However, it just feels a little overrated to me. Like, it feels a bit more cold. Like, a bit more like I don't feel the personality of it the same way.
It's a bit featureless. No?
Yeah.
Beyond the train station, but...
Exactly. I don't feel like it has the same kind of vibe or community as some of those other ones that you mentioned there. So I'd have to say that would be my Uno swap.
It's gone. Sans, thank you for everything you've given us, but please move over. All right, now we get to the difficult ones. Because we've been working out which of 4 things we'd like to get rid of. Now we're looking at the nasties.
Oh.
So we've got 4 things we hate, but you can only get rid of 1.
Interesting.
Yes, turn the tables on you, Angelique. So we've got the obvious one, cockroaches.
Oh, gosh.
We have pickpockets.
Oh, gosh.
Litter in Spain. And bureaucracy.
Oh, James. How could you do this to me? Yeah, you're right. This is more difficult now. I'm a personal victim, actually, of all of these. But especially of cucarachas. Recently, we had a plague of cucarachas, and they seem to get bigger and bigger. I don't know what they're doing, eating each other or what was going on. But anyway, that was terrible. In theory, they're gone now. We evicted them. But they seem to be occupus, and they refuse to leave. The other one is pickpockets. Yeah, I have been pickpocketed 3 times during my first year here. Litter, gosh, yeah. But I feel like that's more of a worldwide problem. I mean, obviously the other 2 are also worldwide, but like, I don't know if I find Barcelona to be particularly...
Spain in general.
Yeah, true. Spain in general, yeah. I mean, litter's just anywhere you go, isn't it?
Literally.
Okay. Literally. And then bureaucracy, I do feel like there's a lot of red tape in Spain, especially coming from, maybe it's my experience coming from the United Kingdom. I feel like a lot of the more bureaucratic things and processes, especially for someone self-employed or that type of thing, just feels a little bit more straightforward. Whereas here I do feel like there's a lot of red tape and jumping over things here. So with that being said, what am I doing? I'm keeping one of these. No, I'm keeping all of them except one.
Yes.
So I can eradicate one.
Yes. One that is the one. The other words, the other three we have to live with.
Yes.
But if you could get rid of one forever, it goes.
I'm going to have to say pickpockets, I think, just because obviously there's the personal sense of obviously you're losing things, you have to pay money to replace them, but more than that, it's the things that you can't replace with money for me. So photos that people didn't remember to back up to the cloud, that type of thing. Losing my partner lost their driving license, and then they had to spend 6 months trying to get it back in order to even drive again because it was inside the thing, blah, blah.
And
I don't know.
She's a chauffeur, that affects her work directly.
Professional Formula 1 driver. Gosh. So for me, I think it's more than just the monetary thing of pickpocketing, but just like I'd rather hand over money than...
The sentiment of it as well. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to get rid of pickpocketing unless you disagree.
I think that's absolutely the right one. Pickpockets... No more. Out. We don't want you. But now we go to the nice things. We look at native wildlife here in the Iberian Peninsula. Something we discussed at length before, did we not? We did an entire episode dedicated to the most dangerous animals here in Spain. We have the Iberian lynx, the Iberian ibex. Ibex is like a goat, the mountain goat.
Yes, I do love a little cheeky mountain goat. Okay.
Particularly on a hot day with a cold beer, no. The Cantabrian brown bear. Something we definitely discussed. And the European common rabbit. Something that originated in Spain. And as we discussed in that episode, Hispania, the origin of the word, the etymology, means
rabbit.
The land of the rabbit, correct.
The land of the rabbit.
Yes.
Okay, you clearly have a better memory than I do because I forgot some of these things from our episode. Maybe James will kindly link it below so I can rewatch our episode myself. I do remember loving the lynx though. I feel like that has stuck with me. So I think for now at least that's gonna stay. I think bears just generally get a bit of a bad stick. I think that often they're quite sweet and docile unless otherwise provoked. So I don't have anything against the bear.
Okay.
So I think I would be between the ibex and the rabbit. I don't fully know about my ibex. What is it called? Iberian ibex. Yeah, maybe I'll have a look at it before I pass my judgment. But I am a rabbit fan, as in the animal, not eating them.
They're big.
Oh, yeah, they are quite big. Good horns on them there.
Yes.
Oh, I feel bad now.
Fight each other. There's the Pyrenean ibex, which is the one that is extinct, and the Iberian, which is the one you find around Andalusia, the Maestranza, La Mancha, around there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful creature, but I'm just such a little rabbit fan. So I think I'm going to have to go with the ibex.
Ibex. Oh, interesting one.
Do you overrule it?
I'm not going to overrule it. I'm going to keep that in there. Because I think the brown bear and the lynx are quite endangered. The rabbit, not so much. But you're going to keep it in, so we're going to keep it there. So.
True. I didn't think about the future.
Now we're going bigger in scope. We are stepping out. We're looking at the Iberian Peninsula from the International Space Station, and we're looking at different comunidades, the different quote-unquote states in Spain. Now, one's got to go. Minimum one. You can still use a double delete.
True.
Catalonia.
Yes.
Our home. The people, our neighbours, the people who work with us, work for us. Andalusia. Something I have quite a connection to. I used to live there. The Basque region.
Yes.
People that you don't want to piss off that much. For those of you who know your 20th century Spanish history. And then Castilla y León, the biggest with regards to geographical size of all comunidades. Take your time with this one.
Yes. I am retrospectively realising I could have got rid of two of the bad things with the double up. I just realised that. But hopefully there'll be something else even worse than cucarachas for later. Okay, so I obviously will stay true to Catalonia, and that is not even a question for me. I think also Andalusia, whilst I haven't lived there as you have, James, I have visited different parts of Andalusia and I've really loved the experience. It's somewhere I want to explore more and would potentially also live if the occasion arose. And then we have the Basque region and Castilla y León. Yeah, I mean, I've never been to the Basque region. I have some.
Have you not?
I've not.
Oh.
I've not. I have some good friends from there. Yeah, and I just think in general, I feel like it's quite, from what I know, quite unique. Also the Basque language. I think my instinct tells me to protect it over the sort of big dog.
Castilla y León.
Yeah. What's your opinion?
I think you would love the Basque region. There's so much idiosyncrasy to it, a lot of art there, a lot of culture, and it is, their kind of history and their own self-definition as always the plucky kind of little remote mountainous people clinging to their sovereignty against the Romans, against the Castilians, against kind of Franco, everything else. There's so much to see. The best food in Spain. Again, Bilbao, a city with the Guggenheim, with so much art there. It is one of my favourite regions. Castilla y León sounds like the one you're going to be looking at.
Yeah.
Is it Burgos, Segovia, Avila, León, Salamanca?
I know, but maybe it's just me personally that I don't have connections with them, but it's not calling me to protect it, unfortunately.
Interesting one. I'm not going to play my card there, so we're going to continue. Castilla y León, I'm sorry. You have to do a bit better next time to keep your place at the table. Now, I'm hungry once again. You've had your little snack, I have not. Meat. We're going full carnivore. Jamón ibérico had to be on the list. Fuet, local Catalan classic. Morcilla, the Revenger of Castilla y León, the black pudding from Burgos. And botifarra, another Catalonian classic.
Yes.
What are we thinking?
Very interesting, especially, again, coming from an ex-vegan. I have actually tried all four of these, so I can give an opinion. However, I, again, personally find them to be a little overrated in the sense that, people rave about them so much. And for me, maybe it's because I'm not a big meaty gal. I wouldn't hold them in such esteem. But that being said, I'm putting my meaty brain on. And I'm going to say
Embrace your northerner, come on.
I am.
Give me a Wigan accent.
Sausage? No. Can only do liver pudding.
That will have to do, listeners.
So I'm going to say Fuet. Fuet is sort of a fun one because it's like it can be a little snack. You can sort of munch on it. You get little Fuet sticks you can just munch on, little cut up pieces of Fuet. I also say, I'm not a big Fuet fan, and then they're just there and I munch away.
Easy party food, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm going to say Fuet, and I know there'll be many people angry with me if I don't, so.
Fuet's going?
No, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it.
Sorry.
Fuet's staying. Morcilla and botifarra. Morcilla is also, is it like the black sausage?
Yes, black pudding.
Black pudding thing.
For those who are maybe not from the British Isles, would you like to explain what we mean by black pudding when we say it?
Yeah, so it's something made with the blood of the animal, which is called pig. Just checking. I was like, is it pork? Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, that's not my personal favourite. That might be on the chopping block. Botifarra and jamón ibérico. I might have to use my double here, just because jamón ibérico, I'm not even that big of a fan. I might have to save the botifarra just because I have had some good ones. I've had good experiences with it, but I'm going to go so crazy and I'm actually going to use my double and willingly get rid of jamón ibérico, which is very crazy. And the morcilla.
I cannot believe it.
I know.
When you use a wild card, I can't use my wild card.
Oh, so you can't even save them.
I was sat there thinking, if Angelique gets rid of morcilla, I'm putting it in, but I can't do it now.
Oh, because I doubled down. Oh.
And jamón ibérico you've got rid of as well.
Yeah, I just got rid of it. Yeah.
It is the cut of the cut with regards to meat, like pork globally in the world. The upward limit for how much this stuff can cost, the amount that you pay for a leg, like 4 figures, sometimes 5 figures, it's absurd.
But this is so that's where my problem comes in with it. It's not a problem, but like my opinion is that, so you have these legs hanging, right? And so I find it quite again, maybe this is because I didn't used to eat meat, but even now that I do, I find it quite jarring to be just walking around or in someone's kitchen or in like a restaurant and just have these like legs hanging. Like I know obviously we're eating meat, so we're eating animals, but I find it quite jarring just to have this leg staring at me. But maybe that's just me.
Okay.
And also I found out, I was doing this tour when I was in Granada, a walking tour, and I think that years ago the Catholics used to hang the legs specifically in certain restaurants and stuff so that the Muslim people wouldn't enter, or you would tell someone's religion more easily by seeing their reaction
Jews and
to
Muslims,
that.
yeah.
And so, exactly, yeah, the Jews and the Muslims. So I felt like just the whole vibe of it is I'm trying to justify my reason
I
now, but
I understand, yeah.
I don't know. It's not giving me the best
There
vibes.
is a distaste you find in the fact that people will just have a leg of a pig inside their home.
Yeah, exactly. And be shaving away at it all day long. So, yeah, I'm going to be controversial.
I'm not in a position to question you here. You've played your card and we're going to go with it. Morcilla, black pudding, Spanish black pudding, my experience, way better than what we find up north where I come from. The home of black pudding in the UK is Bury, which is Lancashire. I'm a Yorkshireman, so they are our sworn enemies. But you have black pudding in the UK. It is drier and kind of, for lack of a better word, bittier than what you'll have here in Spain. Morcilla from Burgos, generally speaking, and the centre north, just above Madrid. A lot more succulent, a lot more flavoursome, delightful. I understand the idea of eating blood is to some people unpleasant and a little bit repulsive, but I mean, when you think about it, if you eat a chicken wing or if you eat a steak, you're eating just muscle. And I don't know why that is more. If you're going to eat meat, I don't know why you would be so picky as to which part of the animal you're eating. But I worked in restaurants. I've seen a whole duck on the side with its eyes out before they start chopping it up. So I'm desensitized to it. And it is a bit of a bugbear. But for me, I think if you're going to eat meat, you should be grateful for your position in the food chain, and you should at least be aware of what goes into the entire supply chain to get you your chicken nuggets in front of you this evening. So that's not for me to kind of take any moral high ground. That's not what I'm trying to do. It's just that it's for me the opposite, to kind of familiarize myself with how this stuff works. Again, having seen on vacation in places less developed here and watched a market slaughter chickens by the throat, and it just makes you appreciate in a developed country in the West, that stuff is done for you, and that's what I'm trying to get at. It's done for you, and then it's easy to therefore not be grateful that it's done for you. That's what I'm getting at, I think. But
makes sense.
Anyway,
Yeah,
doesn't mean I get my morcilla back. That's gone forever now, so we'll move on. So okay, 2 of your wild cards down. You've used your double delete. You've used your Uno swap in this game of one has to go. One has to go. We've got 6 more rounds, and this is where they're going to get a little bit trickier. You're not just looking at different drinks or different meat. You're going to have to be a bit more discerning in your decisions. Are you ready?
Okay, yes.
All right, now, artist. You and I are both creative types, and we're going to start off with a personal favourite of yours, Mr. Dalí.
Yes,
the
I
OG
do.
pervert. He's option number 1. Pablo Picasso, my favourite Spanish artist. We then have Francisco Goya and Diego Velázquez. So Dalí, Picasso, Goya, and Velázquez. What are we thinking?
Can you also remind me of Goya?
Goya,
I do know.
Yes, yeah. So you can see a lot of religious motif. You can obviously the devil represented here. Yeah, with Diego Velázquez, a lot more commentary on what was going on in Spain at the time.
Very interesting. Okay, so I think I have my answer.
Go on.
Yes, so I'm going to start by saying that, Dalí is one of my, personal faves. I even have a tattoo here of the sort of Dalí mask. And so it has to stay for me. I think also Picasso, we had to study Picasso because when I studied art years ago. And, really, really like his work. So also for me is a yes. I do think between... The 2 I'd be deciding between was Goya and Velázquez. But now, having looked at some of their paintings, I think I'm going to have to save Velázquez. I can't say his name. Just because I think I, first of all, visually prefer them.
Okay.
And secondly, it's quite interesting to learn a bit more about, the wider commentary on society and class and status that they represent. And I do think in contrast to that, Goya's work, whilst beautiful, it is quite dark. But yeah, I don't know, it doesn't grab me as much. Yeah, I feel like
there's less definition around a lot of the paintings as well, and he's deliberately making people look repulsive.
Exactly. I mean, I can definitely see the merit.
Okay.
But yeah, that's
Goya,
have to be
it's fourth place. You don't get a medal in these Olympic Games, unfortunately. Cocktails.
Okay.
Tinto de verano,
Yeah.
calimocho, rebujito, and sangria. Are you familiar with all four of them first?
What is a rebujito?
Rebujito is, surprise, surprise, the sherry-based cocktail that you will have during the Feria de Sevilla. You will have manzanilla from Sanlúcar de Barrameda, probably about half of that, and then ice-cold Fanta Limon, preferably, or just regular Sprite if you're not cool enough to have Fanta Limon. But you can also add a little bit of dash of lime or sugar or whatever. But
that sounds
that's
great.
the basic. Yeah, refreshing, cold, easy
that.
to drink. It balances the sweetness of your soda with the kind of saltiness, the dryness of the manzanilla alongside it. Calimocho, you familiar with that one?
Yes, that is red wine mixed with Coca-Cola?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Just when we were thinking the Spanish was so sophisticated and elegant, they put Coca-Cola and red wine together.
Coca-Cola.
Yes, someone's been practicing. Look at that. Do you know which part of Spain is known, or where it quote-unquote comes from?
No, I don't actually.
It's Basque.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Again, not too far away from La Rioja, so it would make sense that they'd use cheap €1 wine from Lidl to get drunk when you're 16 in the park.
Yeah, fair. It sounds like something the British would do, honestly. Just like chuck in some Coca-Cola
Speak for yourself.
and a bit of wine. But personally, I hadn't tried the rebujito, but it sounds bloody great. I am a big fan of sangria de cava, sangria with wine. And I do love a Tinto de Verano, although I'm interested, what is the main differences between Tinto de Verano and sangria?
Tinto de Verano is just explicitly lemonade with red wine, isn't it? Where sangria, you're going to have juice in it more.
Interesting.
And a bit of different liquors and things.
Yeah, true. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to have to say calimocho. I have tried it. I didn't hate it. However, I'm not a big Coca-Cola fan in general. And I prefer to just have red wine at that point.
Yes.
So I'm going to have to say goodbye to calimocho.
How sweet is that combination as well? Red wine
and it's not fully fizzy, but it's not fully flat. Yeah. It's like, no.
Great way if you've got red wine that is going off. Great way to...
True. Or if you've got just a tiny bit of Coca-Cola and a tiny bit of red wine, then...
That said, any red wine you've got going off, use it as to marinade chicken or beef or something. So
put it in a sauce.
Yeah. Yes. Calimocho.
You still have your overall for the last
we've got
four rounds.
Four left. I've got my overall, and I think I might be using it soon. So now we go to modern architecture in Spain. So the first one, of course, the Guggenheim Museum, to which you have not been.
I have not.
And you're pulling a complete blank at me. You're not familiar with the Guggenheim in Bilbao?
No. As I said, I haven't been to Bilbao. And I don't
good
know.
Lord. All right, you have to see this.
Oh, wait. I think someone might have shown me. Yeah, okay. No, I've seen this. I realised what you were going to tell me before I saw it. Okay, familiar.
Guggenheim in Bilbao. The Ciutat de las Artes y las Ciencias in Valencia.
Love that. Beautiful, gorgeous.
Las Setas de Sevilla, the Metropol Parasol.
Yeah, love. I stayed in a hostel right next to them, so every morning I'd go out, and then at night with all the lights on. Beautiful.
And then Casa Batlló, right here in Barcelona.
Yeah, also very beautiful, and get to walk past it often. They also do lovely light shows there with all the sort of the facade.
San Jordi every year, they cover it in roses.
Yeah.
Also, coincidentally, almost as if I'd planned it, you've got 4 different cities there as well, yeah. So.
Oh no. See, this is quite hard because whilst I haven't been to the Guggenheim Museum, I forgot how to say it.
Guggenheim?
Yeah, Guggenheim. See, told you I can't read it because I've got my glasses on. Yeah, it does look bloody gorgeous. However, it's the only one I haven't been to. And for me, the what's it called? Of the sciences. Thank you. Yes. That's beautiful. Like the way the water's just there with the reflection of the white buildings and the blue water is just stunning. Love that in Valencia. So that's got to stay. The setas for me have got to stay. I always think the setas are very unique. Like the whole shape of them I think is just cool. And so that's got to stay. So I'm between Casa Batlló and the museum, but personally I have more of a connection with Batlló. But I don't know whether you might overrule. I don't know. But I would have to say get rid of the museum.
Guggenheim.
Yeah.
Okay, you're popping in Guggenheim.
I am.
Bum, 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 bum. It is time to apply the James overall. Yes, we're running our
Yes.
final wild card. And I'm going to upset you.
Oh no.
Because I think it's overrated. I think it's unredeeming. I think it's clunky. And I think it's built purely in an otherwise boring part of the city that is just there to be taken photos of. Yes,
one?
it has some uses. Yes, it has lots of features inside. But ultimately, the other three provide more utility, more novelty, and are more attractive. So, Valencia, the Ciudad de las Artes y las Ciencias, you're going. I'm sorry.
Interesting. No, fair. Good use of it. Because, yeah, I would have saved it out of pure aesthetic beauty, to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think there is way more beautiful stuff to be seen in Spain and also in Valencia.
Okay.
Because, as it happens, the next rank is, if you had to get rid of one Spanish city of the big four, which would it be? Now, I have rather fond connection to one of the four because I used to live there.
I do.
It's in this list, but I've already used up my overall wildcard, so I can't save Sevilla's graces in this round.
You can't. However, you are lucky because I also love Sevilla, even though I've never lived there.
I can breathe once again, listeners.
But it may be, along with Granada, one of my favourite cities in Spain. And I just have a personal love. The first time I went, I just went alone, and I spent a couple of days there, and it was just beautiful. So,
do you want to read out the four cities?
Oh, sorry. Yes, Madrid.
Yep.
Barcelona, Valencia, and Sevilla.
Yes, indeed.
So again, I'm going to save Sevilla. I also will save Barcelona because I wouldn't be living here if I didn't love it, and I think it has so many beautiful things to offer in so many ways. I also have a semi-personal connection with Valencia because two of my best friends are from there. I've been there several times with them to visit family, and they've shown me around in a local way, which is different to just purely touristic way, which was beautiful. And so, again, maybe controversial, but I would personally have to say goodbye to Madrid, even though I've been there and I've enjoyed it, but
capital.
It's just too big for me and too impersonal. It reminds me of London in that sense. I just feel it's
just sprawl.
Yeah, I still would think it's better than London, but
I have a long history learning languages, and my Spanish teachers, my language teachers, when I was in my A levels, the things they taught me, the things they shared with me, ultimately led to this podcast because they're the reasons why I love this country so much and why I love exploring it. And one thing a former teacher she told me that has always stuck with me, which is Barcelona is better to visit, but Madrid is a better place to live.
Interesting. I've also heard that, yeah.
I've never lived there. Anyone who has, any of the foreigners that I have walked into my life and walked out again, have often said they love living there. But for me, I've never really found myself overwhelmed, in awe, I never found myself that impressed by everything. It's nice. There's a lot to do. That is one thing you can say.
Yes.
Events, culture, music, sports, entertainment.
Absolutely.
Madrid is the place to go. But I think Madrid, it is, of Spain's major cities, the youngest one. It was literally put as the capital, I think, by Felipe II, not sure what year, because he needed the seat of power in his country to be right in the middle, because obviously Spain being such a difficult land to navigate before modern times, being in the centre was beneficial. And as a consequence, it has no medieval history. It has no Moorish identity. It has nothing like that. And I think that's one of the reasons you see great early modern architecture, but nothing that predates the Colombian era. And I think that's one of the things that Madrid lacks.
Yeah, I agree. And I think also, maybe not as specific to Madrid, but I just think in general, coming from such a big city as London, maybe that's why I draw these comparisons, because what I often say is it's nice to visit because there's a lot to do and blah, blah, blah. But to live, it feels quite anonymous, which is, if that's what you're looking for, great. However, I think that, it can be, maybe if you're going to spend many years there, then you can obviously meet a lot of people and make your friendship groups and whatever. But I think if you just arrive, some of the smaller cities, it's probably easier to get immersed into that community, or especially if you're in the creative spaces of performances and stuff. There's obviously way more opportunities, but there's also way more competition. So in that sense, I feel like it wouldn't be somewhere that would attract me to live. Yeah.
Harsh winters as well.
Exactly. Yeah, and there's no beach nearby, which some of the others do have.
Sorry, Madrid. It's a one-way trip to Cantonada for you. Two more. The two that I think will be the most difficult. Number 15, round 15, festival. Big cultural events. We have Las Fallas in Valencia, La Feria de Sevilla, Semana Santa, which is celebrated most places, and the Festa Major de Gracia here in Barcelona.
Interesting.
Are you familiar with all four of those?
I am indeed. When you say Semana Santa, it's more of a overall celebration of all the country, specifically.
I'm kind of referring to the processions, the cofradías, the nazareños, the pageantry, the austere atmosphere that the Spaniards often associate with that event. That's kind of what I'm referring to.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, I think so. I haven't actually been to the first three, actually, but I haven't been to Las Fallas. I've obviously heard about them loads from my friends who have also participated, and it's something that I'm very excited. Tengo muchas ganas to experience it, so I would definitely keep that in there. La Feria also, I would love to have been. I never went to Sevilla at the right time to experience La Feria, but it's also something that's on my list, so I also would keep that. I then, again, Semana Santa or La Festa Major de Gracia. So, again, for me personally, I have a lot of experiences in the Festa Major de Gracia. You know, seeing the streets come alive, not only with the artwork that covers the streets and how unique they are, and seeing that actually, because my office is near there, actually seeing it in progress in the days and weeks coming up to the actual event. Walking through the streets and feeling almost like you're in this kind of wonderland where you're surrounded by things hanging and whatever. I just think it's really beautiful. And then also a lot of live music. I'm a massive fan of live music. So seeing from everything from big concerts and DJs and stuff like that to tiny, small artists, you know, playing on a stage with one little chair. It has a little place in my heart, so I would have to say Semana Santa.
Oh, interesting one. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not a religious person, to the best of my knowledge. Neither am I.
So
again, it is undeniably is religious in its roots, and I think a lot of the people who are devotional, to them, I think it is a bit of a bugbear that many people see it as something to go and visit for touristic purposes. I get that, you know. I can understand why something that would be such a large pillar of your identity, your understanding of the world would be like you wouldn't want that to be trivialized for the sake of Instagram photos. I get that, but it is one of the things like this, like with Christmas. You can't realistically say that Christmas is an explicitly religious event anymore.
No.
I think the same thing for many places in the south of Semana Santa. Yes, it is the iconography, the cofradías, the big floats you have. Of course, they are representations of the execution of Christ, but what a lot of the people are doing, they're dressing very well, they're going with their families, they're going back from if they've moved to big cities, back home, to be with their families at that time, and that's more the value I think they have in it, even if they're telling themselves they're being good Catholics, because we know most Spanish are not good Catholics. Make of that what you will. So that's what I would say. I think the nazareños, the people who look like certain unpleasant Americans in their dress, they're quite cool in a weird way, and I always think it would be fun to be with an American in Spain the first time and go and show them without explaining to them, and I've never done that, and maybe that's a little bit sadistic on my part, but I've always wondered what their initial response would be. But anyway, and we come to the last one. Nasties 2.
Oh.
We have number 1, the Inquisition. Number 2, Franco's dictatorship.
Yeah.
Number 3, the smallpox pandemic of the Americas.
Goodness me.
And number 4, the Civil War of the 1930s. Yes, we can only eliminate one.
Now I'm regretting jamón ibérico.
Almost as if I planned it that way.
Wow. Okay. Goodness me, what a decision. Gosh. I think I would have to... So hard. Yeah, maybe give me like your one sentence explanation for each.
Okay.
Because they're all so bad.
The Inquisition, following the final recapture of Nasrid Granada, which was the final stronghold of the Muslims in 1492 was a period of religious ideological fanaticism in which any public manifestation of gypsy culture, Islam or Judaism was punished, and it was very, very brutal and endured for hundreds of years. Dictatorship, obviously very recent, lasted from 39 when Franco became the de facto ruler of Spain, up until 75 when he died. He wasn't ever really challenged significantly during that rule, and many people think that Spanish society and economy were compromised to such an extent that it kept Spain in the past while a lot of Europe prospered in the 50s, 60s and 70s. The smallpox pandemic killed between 50 and 90% of the native populations of the Americas following the arrival of the Spanish in 1492. Obviously not on purpose, but just as a consequence of what happened. And the Civil War between 36 to 39, one of the bloodiest conflicts, and the first explicitly ideological partisan war in the European continent that effectively set up the template for World War II that followed, and a lot of the brutal military tactics and technology were first employed, practiced, developed during the Spanish Civil War.
Yeah, it didn't make it much easier, did it? Made it worse. Yeah, okay, so I need to keep 3.
Yes.
Get rid of 1. Gosh, again, all terrible. But I think the one that I have seen and heard the most about, also living here in Catalonia, would have to be the dictatorship of Franco.
Okay.
And seen more of like a, well, not first hand, is it? But closer up, results and consequences of that. Yeah, it just feels a bit closer to me. So I probably have to say, get rid of the dictatorship and keep the Civil War, the Inquisition, and the smallpox pandemic.
Ooh, you put your neck on the line here. Okay. With regards to characters, I think you chose the right one to get rid of. I think Franco is a nasty little
yes.
We'll do an episode on him and the Civil War one day. Obviously, the previous episode was about the Guernica painting. Yes. I thought it was a banger. Not enough people watched it. That's why I'm mentioning it.
Link below.
If you wanted to judge it by death toll, clearly the smallpox pandemic was the most destructive.
True.
It, however, not being, if you want to take a purely moral stance, it being the one that was more or less an accident. Obviously, we had no idea about microbiology in 1492. So,
if I had to save only one, if I had to keep only one, I would have chosen it for that reason, that it wasn't like someone's.
Killed millions of Native Americans.
I know, but it's like, it's not that it was man.
Yes.
Like, it could have happened anyway. Do you know what I mean?
And did in Tahiti, in
exactly.
Australia. Yeah, exactly. The Civil War, obviously, very, very violent and achieved nothing, more or less. And the Inquisition was institutionalized torture.
Yeah. Here we are. Difficult decisions.
So, thank you for watching, then. On a happy note? No. We've come to the end. Thank you very much for being here, Angelique. Thank you for everything you do for this podcast and also for your friendship. It's gotten remarkably dark. I've just realised as we were doing this, so I think we'll wrap that up. Have you had a good time?
An amazing time.
Thank you very much. Have you learned everything?
I have, and I've learnt the jingle. One has to go. One has to go.
When will you next be treating me to morcilla?
Never.
Okay.
I will treat you to rebujito.
Yes, instead. Even better when I'm drinking next year. Okay, the final segment, as always, is our Spanish recommendation of the week. This is relatively new. Alex introduced it. You can pick any Spanish thing. Yes, I didn't tell you this. Any Spanish thing you like. Something to drink, a piece of media, a place to visit, a phrase, a way of being, an activity. What would you recommend our listeners try this weekend?
Great question. It's not something new per se, but I'll have to say olives.
Olives?
Spanish olives, up there with the Greek olives. They're just a great time. So I actually beat my own olive eating record a couple of weeks ago. I counted these stones. I ate a full jar, which was 131 olives in one single sitting. So I really have enough data to really tell you that the olives here are good. Fantastic. 131. 131. Right, I'm going to go beat that. Thank you very much for your time, Angelique. Thank you, James. And thank you for listening to the Hispanophiles podcast, Travel in Spain with Only Half a Brain. We're going to go and regret our decisions in Magaluf. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
You are very, very good at this.
Nice. Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you very much.